Rapids, which has a line of storms that is currently working its way across Fife Lake and Benzie. Moment, one of the last ones to Lake County arrived. So that looks like quick. What we have, Lake Ann, you are just now starting to see the first portions of this storm. And it is continuing to move east at about 45 to 50 miles per hour. So we are currently seeing this move east quickly. So Traverse City, within the next 30 to 45 minutes, you'll see this moving into your area. For areas from really Honor back to Frankfort, they're just continuing to see very heavy rain, possibly some localized flooding. There we go, and it is working currently. So radar moving through the next 30 to 40 minutes, we'll continue to see those showers and storms heading right along areas along M31, heading up towards Traverse City. Chum's Corner probably in the next 30 minutes. The leading edge of the storm here from Buckley north, it is really going to be missing Buckley to the north and also to the south. So Buckley, you're not going to be seeing the full steam of this storm. Areas in Grand Traverse as well as Benzie County seeing that purple. You're seeing some cores of hail there for areas into Benzie, Grand Traverse County. Areas in Wexford, not a ton of hail, but up towards Mesick, they might be seeing a little bit of hail at the moment. Now, northeast corner right here in Lake County, starting to see possibly some larger hail. And again, that's the cell that has me a little intrigued because it looks like it's taking a lot of energy from the Baldwin section of the storm, and then also a core of hail there in northern Newaygo County. So let's take a closer look at the radar, see what we have been seeing from Honor to Lake Ann. Just very heavy rain here, very little in the way of thunder and lightning. And then right along 31, just west of Chum's Corner, you have those storms continuing to pick up, intensify a little bit. Everything is heading east at about 40, 45 miles per hour. Now down here just north of Buckley, we are starting to see a little bit of activity, a little more intensification heading towards Kingsley. That was just issued as we speak. So what is looking to be the norm here with these storms? Rather than name them all and give you updates here, let's talk about what we have going on right now. We have a line of storms that are stretching from Traverse City all the way down towards Newaygo. Now this is working its way from west to east at 45 miles per hour to 50 miles per hour, but feeding off of that very warm, very muggy air that we have just sitting in northern Michigan at the moment. And with these storms from Traverse City down to Newaygo, there's three things that we are seeing that is very gusty, damaging winds, heavy torrential rains, and also some hail. Not sizable hail, but just a little bit of hail as it is working its way to the east. So, did you say we're taking the Cadillac Skycam? Okay. So we have a tree down in our front yard. That would explain some of the things. We haven't even really seen the storm here in Cadillac just yet. So that goes to show you, folks, this gust front right here is responsible for a lot of those big winds. So it looks like the birch tree out front took some damage. So it's not just the main, there you go. Took out half of our birch tree in our front yard here, just in front of Nambob. So yeah, that is the reason we had 2 power bumps. Thankfully the stream didn't end and actually continued on, but that is what we're seeing. And Cadillac hasn't even seen the brunt of the system just yet. So it's the leading edge. This system is continuing to feed. That gives you an idea of how much warm, muggy air is rushing up into that storm, how much it is grabbing. So when you look at that gust front, that storm is grabbing all of that energy and moving it up. That's what is currently happening with this line of storms from Traverse City all the way down to Newaygo. So looking at the leading edge here, which this is typical with a line of storms. When you get a line of storms such as this one kind of starting to anchor itself off, you tend to see a little bit of rotation just off to the east there. So yeah, there might be a little bit there. So we could be looking at a little bit of rotation in Mecosta County. Again, nothing major, not trying to scare anybody here, but this is what we were watching in the atmosphere and these dynamics because of the warm air and the humidity. With this wind moving through, if it starts to bow, we start getting those issues where you could be looking at a little bit of rotation. And that's what we were starting to see here for areas just west of Barton. A little bit of rotation right here. It's not much, but there's a little bit of movement right here just north of Barton. And again, it's up towards Misiola. So again, watching this really closely. This is the section that is actually grabbing most of the energy. And again, down in this area where it is a little bit more open, you do have the risk of seeing a little bit more rotation. It's starting to enter more of that farmland down towards Clare and Isabella County. And once this gets east, we'll see how this starts feeding off of all of that muggy air in Isabella and Clare County. But again, Isabella, Clare County, you do have a severe thunderstorm warning, but you're waiting on this cell to work its way to the east. And again, it is moving east at about 45 miles per hour. In our area, you can see Lake and also Osceola, the biggest, 5,500 in Lake without power, 7,500 in Osceola without power, 2,000 in Wexford County without power, same for Manistee, 800 in Missaukee, while you have 2,500 in Clare without power, 1,500 down in Mecosta. While this system is just getting into Isabella, more than likely we're not going to get those returns just back yet. But 1,000 without power in Newaygo, 300 in Oceana. All right, so here is a look at the 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in Clare, Gladwin, Midland, as well as Isabella counties. Now, I've split this up into 4 panels to show you 4 different items that are going on in this storm. So first off, the reflectivity. Yeah, you can see we do have some heavier storms, heavier rain, maybe a little bit of hail here towards Clare, areas north of Harrison, and then also for areas towards Mount Pleasant. You're seeing that cell start to work its way towards you, but more on top of Lake Isabella at the moment. Now, areas east of Coleman heading towards Eatonville in Midland County, and then for areas towards Gladwin, you're starting to see some of these cells develop and work towards you. So let's take you to the next slide where we have velocity. So this is the winds aloft, and at the moment you can see just straight up and down from Clare County, from Harrison down to Clare, it is just straight winds that could lead you up to about 50, 55 miles per hour. Down here, this is more storm relative velocity. You can see the winds from those storms, and it is that cell that is developed in Midland County. The brighter the color, the gustier the winds, and that cell in Midland County, it must be feeding off a lot of energy in those farm fields down there, because it has really popped with quite a bit of energy, and it's continuing to gain energy. So when we take a look at the storm threats, again, hail core towards Clare, areas into Gladwin County, you're starting to see more of that rain and hail. This is exactly what you don't want to see when you're looking at velocity. The green is going towards the radar, which is back up in Gaylord. The red is going away. So when you have the green and red that close, that is signifying to us rotation. So right here, if you could take me back up. Beam me up, Scotty, if you can. So the winds there, oh, there it is, tornado warning, nailed it. Tornado warning there for Midland County, northern Midland County, as well as Bay County. But it looks like currently Midland County towards Bombay, Hurley, Schaefer, Baker Roads, these areas look to be seeing that rotation, and we were seeing this, Tegan threw it in my face, and she was like, look at that one. I was like, yep. And they issued the warning just as we saw it. So right there, ooh, looks like it's getting a little bit more organized there in the last little frame. So again, this is a tornado warning in Midland County as well as into Bay County. Right here, this is our concern, and this is what you always hate to see when you look at velocity, is the greens and reds sharing space.